I'm going to share the 3 things I did that helped me get into an MFA creative writing program. I applied 2 times and didn't get in anywhere. After the second time, I realized it wasn't a fluke and I needed to change something. First thing I worked on, and this is maybe the most important thing, is improving your craft. So the way that I improved my actual writing was that I read a lot of books. Specifically looked for people who I admired and wanted to be like, people who had the types of careers that I wanted. If there's a book that people are talking a lot about, you might want to check it out and see what all the discussion is about. Also, during that time, to improve my craft, I wrote a lot, pretty much every day. The second thing I did that I think you should be willing to do too is pivot. When something isn't working, you need to be able to know when to shift gears. Because sometimes, you work really hard at something and it just doesn't work for many years and you just have to keep going. But sometimes you're not doing something right and you need to switch things up. I was really focused on short fiction, specifically writing realism. It was not working. Every single thing that I wrote sucked really bad. So I couldn't even finish it. I couldn't even write a coherent short story. And honestly, I would say to this day, I still haven't been able to write a decent short story. I just don't think it's my thing. And I also don't think realism was the perfect medium for me to express my ideas. So this is where reading a lot can really come into play, because I started reading a lot more speculative fiction. It made me realize how connected to that medium I was. The final thing that I did that I think really helped a lot was going to writing events like conferences or specifically workshops. Writing conferences or writing workshops can help you connect with other writers and maybe even published writers. Not only can you learn about the business of writing, but you can also learn how to workshop your work. First ever writing workshop I ever went to, and I think it was maybe the only one I've ever been to, is the Tin House Summer Writing Workshop. And I believe having that experience really worked in my favor when it came to applying to MFA programs. It showed that I have experience actually workshopping my work. It shows that I know how to work with other people in a workshop setting, which is pretty much what MFA programs are about. Also, my workshop leader at Tin House ended up very graciously writing me a letter of recommendation that I used when applying to MFA programs. And other authors at that event just happened to be working in some of these MFA programs, and they remembered me. So when my application came in, they remembered who I was. Obviously, your work still has to be good. That's why it's most important to focus on your craft. But if your work is already good and you also have these really positive networking experiences with people, that's just going to work in your favor even more. So that's how I was able to get an MFA program. When I applied, I actually was accepted into 4 programs, applied to 10 places, and I got into 4. So I feel really good about that. Yeah, that's what I did, and I really hope you find this helpful.